Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rock Room. And yeah, today we're in the garage. I have received not a box, but a crate. Yes, a crate of rocks from my friend down in, he's from Arizona. Where he's getting his stuff from, I don't know, but he's from Arizona. So I guess I just call them Arizona rocks. So, but what it basically is it is green jasper, and if anybody's seen the green jasper I get, it's pretty colorful. And so I had got this crate in. I soaked them in muriatic acid for a couple hours, and then of course, you know, baking soda powder, whatever the heck it is, and knocked the acid off. And now I got them soaking in some buckets, and let's take a look at them. So I'll show you a brief look here. So there it was. And we'll take a closer look at them. And of course they're not all green. They just contain a lot of green, but you know, they contain a lot of other colors, and they got big agate pieces in there, but almost looks bluish, like a bluish layer up on top. Lots of gold and red in this one. Okay, here's the next one. And this one actually goes to a from a green down to the bottom to almost a purple. I don't know if that reflection, if you can see that. I know they're wet, but so yeah, so got some real good blue. Anybody seen my blue? That's where I get these layers of blue in there. And then of course down at the bottom it kind of turns that purple, purpley red. Beautiful. All right, now here's another piece, and again, you know, it's mainly a green, but you know, I told them to try to look for stuff that has this blue in it too as well. But you can just see it's just crazy looking stuff. Beautiful looking piece. There's a good look at the green. I'm sure this is the surface piece, but then you go right under the surface, and you know, that's where she really changes colors. And it's got some crazy looking lavender in there. Kind of almost some spider webby patterns, but nice red and green mixed in there. Nice piece. Okay, here's another piece from the top, and then once you you know, go down inside of it, you just got layers upon layers. You go through some blue layers, the reds, and like I say, this purple, and you can see this outside. Would you like to walk across that in the wild and see that just blazing in the sun? And then break her open, and holy cow. Beautiful looking stuff. Of course there's some small chunks in there, but small and mighty powerful. That's a good blue. Got a lot of blue in there. It's also got that band of agate that filled in. filled in that crevice. Yeah, beautiful piece. Here's one. It's actually got like, you know, some kind of brownish. I don't know if it's actually brown or it's kind of purpley. But lots of browns, lots of purples, or lots of purples, a lot of green in there. Another band of agate going across the top, filling that gap in, that fracture in at one time. So from, like I say, from the outside, kind of looked like it was going to be just some green and maybe some purplish red. And then now it just layers. Layers and layers and layers. And on this other side, like I say, you can see where the agate kind of filled in some crevices that were in there. Not a huge piece, but good axe head. Here's a little piece the cleachy didn't come completely off of here. I don't know, unless that's something that was more in the stone itself. But yeah, this is green, and you got a big agate center, or chalcedony. Almost looks like there could have been like some crystals forming in there. There was enough gap. Okay, now on this crazy looking thing, so you're thinking, and again, it's got this huge quartz pocket or vein up on top, and then it's got this little section down here that goes to a red and purple around the agate, and then the rest of it's just kind of I don't know, I guess off green. This is kind of interesting patterns on this. You can see a real lot of agatization going on in there, but it doesn't carry over. Or not much of it anyhow. But this is, you know, a freaking huge piece. This piece right here is probably like 8 pounds or something. Okay, here's another one. And then again, you know, wow. Just look at that. That's just insane. The color, the mix, you know, around this pocket in here, you got this gold around the whole outside of it. See that gold is kind of following that band. Same right there. And then this up here. Beautiful colors. I can zoom in here. Now, how's that for a close-up? Interplanetary. Now here's another green chunk. It's got some red. And on this side, it's got this thing that filled a void. pretty strange. Of course, just a little tiny piece of green. Maybe it's got a little bit of red. Maybe that red goes inside. But just basically a piece of green. Good catch. Green, maybe some white in there, white jasper. And then he had this one in there, and as I got towards the bottom, he threw some orange and some yellows in there, which is, I just said, greens, but to fill the box, I'll take them, because that is some pretty crazy looking jasper. It's got some real, I guess it has some green in there, right? But yeah, what a strange looking rock. And of course it's coming off of my hands, and it's breaking apart. So is this kind of crumbly or not? I don't know. The yellow definitely looks solid. This other stuff, questionable. The green, yeah. We'll have to cut this apart and see what it tells us. Okay, here's a piece of the yellow. And it has this white, kind of this white mixture. And does it go through? Yeah. It actually goes through with some red. And that's just a big old agate. So that's actually kind of pretty interesting in there. It's got like a fan, almost like it's red dendrites or something. Pretty rock. Well, here's another one, and that's not green, red and purple. Definitely got some band of agate going along the top. This one's almost like a seam. Really cool, like plumy, almost like a moss agate would be. Ooh, bee just got my face. But yeah, what a pretty little rock. We always take those in for extra for weight fillers, right? Or box fillers. Okay, here's another little chunk. Ooh. Again, some green, some orange. A little blue over here. Maybe some brown. Nice little box filler. Now this chunk here, I suspect, had broken off that one that I said you could see. It almost looked like red dendrites. And again, you can kind of see it in this piece as well. So that might have probably broke off that the face of that other one. Okay, here's another piece here. I didn't acid bath this one. Didn't really look like it needed it. This orange here is obviously like some kind of an iron stain to it, because it's more like a white and maybe black, kind of like an agate look to it. kinds of little striations in there. I'm trying to stop that glare there. You can see some red. The red must be like an agate, red colored agate running through there. But like I say, on this side you can see this orange, and that is not the color. That's just some kind of stain. Maybe it came off that other red rock. Okay, here's another piece of just that green. And this feels softer. I mean, it doesn't feel soft, but on the outside it seems like little bits want to come off. But on the back side here, you know, and then almost kind of like a little pseudomorph there or something. Definitely a agate section. You know, it's spraying out both directions there. Interesting anyhow. Okay, there's a little chunker, and again, now you can see how this dark green from the outside sinks in, and then where the mineralization happened on the inside of the rock is really where it, because you can see this changed on the inside but not on the exposed edges. So yeah, but yeah, really interesting little red agate in there. Nice looking stone. Now, there was a big piece of this, and it just shattered. So not really sure what was in there, why the acid just ate. I could probably just break this too. Yeah, just crumbling away. So yeah, the acid did its number on this rock. Ate it to pieces. So I got a whole, you know, like 8 pounds of this stuff just broken in pieces. Not sure if it's stable in this other parts, which would be nice because it's actually kind of cool looking. There's a lot of this, these small pieces of seam agate in there. Like I say, the ones that kind of have that orange dye to it. They're actually, if you go inside of them, they're actually kind of cool looking. Yeah, you can almost see little dendrites in there. So yeah, pretty cool looking seam agate. You know, and then there's stuff like this. There's little seam agates like that. It's kind of almost looks like that lone pine, but it's you know, it's too bright. And it's got this white, oops, sorry for moving around. It's got that white pocket in the middle there. But yeah, cool looking seam agate. Okay, here's a piece here. Again, you're thinking green, right? Green, it's green. And then they busted it out and there's no green at all in it, not nowhere. But what's in it is, let me see if I can zoom that in, is all these crazy agatization parts. That almost looks like a little piece of opal, but it has these little agates all over in here. But yeah, what a beautiful rock. So yeah, what do you think of that green stuff? Pretty amazing stuff. Like I say, I'm not really sure where he's getting it from. I just know he's from Arizona, so it could be coming from anywhere. And that's really irrelevant, I guess, because the material is just pretty nice. So thanks for watching, and I'll be out for a big adventure coming up. I'm going to Spencer Opal Fields, looking for some opals with the Spencer guys. They have a makers bunch out there, so there's going to be a bunch of makers out there, video makers, cab makers, jewelry makers. I'm not really sure who's all going to be out there. I just know a few people that'll be out there, so I'm excited I'll be one of them. So I'll be doing that, plus I'll be doing some other stuff out there. Figured, well, you know, if I'm going to plan a trip to go way over to Idaho, that I may as well do a bunch of other stuff while I'm over there. So I'll be doing all that, and yeah, I can't wait to see what it all holds in store. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at the beautiful green jaspers, a couple other mixed ones in there too. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking. Always enjoy them comments. So thanks a lot, everybody. See you soon in a rock room near you, and maybe if you live out west, maybe even sooner, right?